Welcome, ZASLOW Show 2.0. It is a Tuesday, the 25th of April. Good to have you aboard. We are a Blue Wire podcast, presented as always by Anidjar and Levine, accident attorneys, 800-747-FREE. That's 800-747-3733. Any kind of accident you're involved in, car accident, boating, slip and fall. First, you call 911. You make sure everybody's okay. Then you get an attorney on the phone immediately when you call Anidjar and Levine. Accident attorneys, 800-747-FREE. That's 800-747-3733. And what a show we have today. I said yesterday, we're going to get one of two versions of the Miami Heat. Are we going to get the Heat team that has disappointed all season long when presented with an opportunity? Or are we finally going to get that game? Are we finally going to get that moment that we've been waiting for all season? Most seasons, even ones like this where you win like 43, 44 games, you got a couple moments throughout the season, right, that you feel really great about, that were really fun. We haven't had that this year. We've been waiting and hoping. Can it possibly happen in the playoffs? We don't have a whole lot of reason to believe so. And then last night, it finally happened. We got the moment we've all been waiting for. And not only did we get the moment we've all been waiting for, but we got a forever performance and a forever game. We will never, ever forget where we were watching last night when the Heat took a 3-1 series lead over the number one seed Milwaukee Bucks. Only 3 times in NBA history has the number 8 seed beat the number 1. Unfortunately, the Miami Heat were one of those number 1s. Only once has it ever happened in a best of 7. The other 2 times were best of 5. Can the Miami Heat, who are 1 win away, become another 8 seed who wins a playoff series? I don't know if you're watching right now on YouTube. You guys know podcast is number 1. If you want to check out stuff on YouTube, that's fine. I upload all the interviews, of course, on youtube.com/@ZASLOW Show. And I upload most of the show, but not all of it. Podcast is by far the most important for me. But if you happen to be watching youtube.com/@ZASLOW Show, I don't know if you can see, my eyes are a little bit teary because as I'm putting together the show today, but I got a whole team, a whole production crew, a whole production team that puts together the show. But I decided to take the reins for myself today. And so I'm putting together the show, and I'm editing, and I'm playing clips, and I'm recording, and I'm getting it ready for the show today. And reliving it from last night, I'm like, I'm starting to tear, And you would think, oh, ZASLOW, you're such a sis. It's like, no, I'm pretty sure all of you listening right now feel the exact same way. So my eyes are a little bit teary. I don't know if you can tell. I always like to look super masculine when I'm doing the show, but I'm very emotional over last night's performance. I don't know. I'm very emotional about it. And I will tell you that there was a moment last night. It was after Jimmy Butler hit. It wasn't the second 3. His foot was on the line, I guess. But after Jimmy hit the second 3, let's just call it that. And you kind of oh my God, they're doing it. He's doing it. I swear to God, I almost started crying. I was jumping around the room. I was so happy. I'm getting emotional right now talking about it, man. So, and I'm not even embarrassed to tell you guys that because I feel like everyone right now listening, you feel the exact same way. What a night. Holy shit. So, we got a fun show. I swear, I almost started crying last night. It was, what a night, man. What a night. Unbelievable. So, I got to calm down. I'm not going to make it through the whole show today. So, and by the way, can I tell you something real quick too? I'm so glad the Panthers are not playing tonight. I'm so glad we have an extra day, an extra travel day, excuse me, with the Panthers going to Boston tomorrow. Because I want to bask in this for another whole day. And the Panthers are definitely losing Game 5 in Boston. I don't want them to take away any of the shine tonight. I'm glad that's on the back burner right now. It's tomorrow night. I want today in its entirety to continue to be about the Miami Heat and one of the all-time great playoff performers. I'm not talking about one of the all-time great playoff performances. We know that's true. Jimmy Butler is one of the all-time great playoff performers. That's what I want today to be about. So I'm super emotional today. I'm super excited to be able to hang out with you guys and talk about the game. And it comes off a day yesterday. I was on the Levine show yesterday morning, and it comes off a day where yesterday was a great day for me. Like, again, it gets ZASLOW Show 2.0, a lot of pub. You know, I get that Levine show rub, not the other way around. I get the Levine show rub, and you guys are super excited that I was on with them. And then, like, you're sending me messages all day on social media. And then we get a forever game and a forever performance from Jimmy Butler. Now, here's the interesting thing. So, no matter what happens the remainder of this series, that's a forever game, and it's a forever performance. Nobody's ever going to be able to take that away from any of us. We experienced it. We enjoyed it. That is forever. No matter what happens the rest of the series. Yes, they still got to close it out, and it gives it more significance. But no matter what, that game lives, that performance lives forever. There's a big difference between that and Ray Allen Game 6, 2013. Big difference. Ray Allen's shot does not live forever if they don't go on and win Game 7. I remember before Game 7 that year in 2013, I'm on the floor like an hour before the game. I'm talking to Eric Reed. Eric Reed, legendary television play-by-play voice of the Miami Heat. Not Eric Reed, the former midday show host for 7-9 Ticket. I don't know what he's doing. I'm on the floor before the game like an hour prior, and I'm talking to Eric Reed. And we're talking about how amazing the finish to Game 6 was. Ray Allen winning in overtime, botched with the block. But I said to him, I go, I want them to win tonight Game 7. Yes, to win the championship is by far the most important reason. But right underneath it is so that the Ray Allen shot can live forever. If the Heat don't win Game 7, the Ray Allen shot, nobody cares. Nobody cares. It goes away. It's meaningless. They won Game 7, and now it's the greatest shot in the history of the NBA because of what followed. That's not exactly the same thing here. Because that wasn't like a performance from Ray Allen. It was a moment. It was a shot. This is a performance from Jimmy Butler, which will live forever, no matter what happens the rest of this series, no matter what happens the rest of this playoff. And for Jimmy, 56 points, tied for fourth most all-time in NBA playoff history, the most ever in Miami Heat playoff history, the second most points in Miami Heat history, if you want to count regular season and playoffs. Very important question. All right, you're saying to yourself, ZASLOW, were you okay with him? Even though it doesn't count because it's regular season versus playoffs, were you okay with Jimmy surpassing Glenn Rice's 56? Because you may remember, Wade one time in a regular season game at 55, I was rooting against him. Now, it wasn't a close game. I was rooting against him passing Glenn Rice. LeBron James, in the mask, I think it was 61 he had. I didn't want him to pass the 56. It was what he was. Was I rooting against Jimmy passing Glenn Rice's 56? And the answer is, I was rooting so hard for Jimmy last night to have as many points as possible. It's a playoff game. They needed every single one of Jimmy's points. I was rooting very hard for Jimmy to pass Glenn Rice's 56. And I didn't do that with the other guys. And the point is, this guy, and I've been saying it for a while, I fuck with Jimmy Butler. I fuck with Jimmy Butler for life. That is my guy. He wants all the big moments. All of them. He is so my type of player. He's been my type of player from day number one. I'm telling you, no joke. After he hit that second three, I know it was a 2. I'm jumping around the ZASLOW Mansion family room. I'm in my shirt, my underwear. I had to put the beer down because I had to put my Johnny Cuba down because I don't want to spill everywhere My son and I were jumping up and down around the ZASLOW Mansion family room. I'm on the verge of tears, happy tears. I'm almost crying. I'm a grown man. That's what last night's performance did. Sports, man. Sports. Unbelievable. Like I said, I'm emotional right now just talking about it with you guys. And we finally saw the Heat this year take advantage of an opportunity. And holy shit, did they do that. An all-time game. All-time performance. And for a number 8 seed, you want to say the Heat are an unfair 8 seed? Whatever, I don't know. But for an 8 seed to be on the verge 3-1, now you got to close it out. Everybody knows that. We're going to talk to George Sedano on the show today. Pacific guy, he's out west. Hey, Lakers last night, tremendous game. They took a 3-1 lead at home as well. We're going to talk to Sedano, but we're going to talk mostly Heat with him. You got to close this out. But this whole season was made in Game 4 last night. We've been waiting for something. The Heat fans been waiting for anything, any moment. And not only did we get a moment, we got a forever moment, a forever game in the first round. Got to close it out. But this season was made last night for the Heat fan. Got to finish it. But I do believe this game has significance forever. No matter what, this was a forever game. You will always remember where you were when you watched Jimmy Butler save the Heat in Game 4, go up 3-1, and potentially what may happen the rest of this series. But no matter what, you're always going to remember last night. What a crowd! I was going off on Twitter last night. I was on Hinge last night. I was so wound up. When the game ended, I was like, what do I do now? I can't go to sleep. I put on my stories, caught up on Monday Night Raw. But what am I going to do? I wasn't close to going to sleep yet. I'm unhinged on Twitter last night. And one of the things that needs to be acknowledged, now, I went to Game 3 courtesy of Sheets and Giggles. Love my man Colin there. I'm texting with him after the game. What the hell did we just watch, Colin? SheetsGiggles.com/ZASLOW. Use promo code HEAT. I think you're getting 25% off. It may be more. Use promo code HEAT. You know what? There may be a special last night that Colin put together involving Jimmy Butler's 56 points. Look, just go SheetsGiggles.com/ZASLOW. Use promo code HEAT when you check out. You're going to get something good, something really good. And everybody knows I love Sheets and Giggles. Great sponsor of ZASLOW Show 2.0. That comforter, I'm looking at it right now. I got my dogs. They're both lying down on the comforter. They're fast asleep, even though I'm super loud right now and super pumped up about ZASLOW Show today. So go SheetsGiggles.com/ZASLOW. Use promo code HEAT. You'll thank me later. Best sheets you're ever going to sleep on. My man Colin even said to me, ZASLOW, you want to go to Game 5 in Milwaukee? Because, of course, he sent me and my son to Game 3, which, by the way, do I regret that I was at Game 3, not Game 4? No. Game 3 was incredibly fun. Game 4, though, what an experience that must have been for those guys. I told Colin, though, I'm not going to Milwaukee tomorrow. I was in New York last weekend, and then if I tell my wife I'm going to Milwaukee, that's not going to fly. Plus, you guys know I'm going to AEW Dynamite tomorrow night in Sunrise. It's at FLA Live Arena. I'm not bailing on my son, my younger son. I'm taking to Dynamite. I'm not bailing on him. He's very excited. I'm excited too. So, excuse me. We're going to Dynamite tomorrow. I was like, oh, ZASLOW, you're not watching Game 5? No, we lucked out. Dynamite ends at 10. I live very close to that arena. Dynamite ends at 10, and the Heat game starts at 9:30. So it's which really means 9:40. So I lucked out. We'll get to see the whole game. So it's all good. But if there's a Game 6, God forbid, if there's a Game 6, I think we got to be there Friday night. If there's a Game 6, we'll see. Oh, man. So much to get to from last night. Like I said, we're going to talk to Sedano. We'll have some fun with him. But Jimmy Butler, man. I was almost crying. What a crowd. What a crowd, man. So like I said on Twitter last night, you know, you got the dopes on social media, even people on television, fans who love that low-hanging fruit of the Miami crowd. Yeah, they show up late. Okay. But tell me, and I know like what Sacramento's doing right now is insane. There's a bunch of amazing, Boston's an amazing crowd. New York right now is an amazing crowd. But I'm sorry, that crowd last night, it takes a backseat to no one. Unbelievable atmosphere. Wish I was there. Incredible atmosphere. The Heat fan was on fire last night. I'm so happy for everybody who was in the building last night that you got to have that moment in person. Jimmy Butler yelling, "This is my shit." Oh, I fuck with Jimmy Butler, man, for life. That is my guy. What a crowd, what a night. All right, let's do a little, let me play some clips for you here. Let's do a little replay, because I do want to get to Sedano here. Again, sheetsgiggles.com/ZASLOW. Use promo code HEAT. You're going to get all kinds of, at least 25% off, all right? And right now, my man Colin's feeling great. Who knows what else he's throwing in there. So anyway, let's get to some clips here. And I do want to point something out. Jimmy deserves all the accolades. But there's a couple guys that need to get noticed right now. The first one, Kyle Lowry. Now, Lowry, with the turnovers, awful. Awful. At least 2 giveaways. He had the one on the inbounds pass, the miscommunication to Jimmy. And then the next one, later on in this like middle fourth quarter, where he tried to bounce it to Duncan. Duncan was moving to the right. Ball gets bounced out of bounds. Lowry's the point guard. He's got to know where his guys are and where they're going. Terrible job. But Lowry on the defensive end was enormous last night in the fourth quarter. The way he was stripping the ball. I mean, it was like, remember how amazing Andre Iguodala was at that in 2020? That was Kyle Lowry last night. Lowry's defense stripping the ball. They do not win that game last night without Lowry on the defensive end. You got to give it up for him. Second guy, who I think he had 1 point going into the fourth quarter last night. Caleb Martin. What a fourth quarter from you. Hey, you were my boy last night too. Caleb Martin hit a pair of free throws, which brought, remember he had the strong drive to the basket, blocking foul. Caleb Martin hit a couple free throws there. Caleb Martin with the jumper right in Giannis's face, coming back up the floor with his hand over his face. The jumper right in Giannis's eyeballs. That brought the Heat within 1. Then you had the crazy sequence. We'll get to that. And shortly after that, after the Bucks took back the lead, I think that was the pick and roll with Giannis and Lopez, Caleb steps into another 3 and buries that. What a fourth quarter from Caleb Martin. Lowry and Martin deserve so much credit. Okay, let's do a little replay here. I love playing the clips. All right. So Martin hits the free throws, which makes it 101-98, right? The Heat get another stop. 3-pointer misses for the tie. It may have been Butler. Martin gets the offensive rebound. And now he's in the corner against Giannis.
Martin with Giannis there. It's a 2. 1-point game. It's loose. The lead, Jimmy Butler. And Giannis was trying to call timeout, but Kyle Lowry.
Crazy sequence. Martin, he hits the jumper in Giannis's eyeball, and then you get the trap on Giannis and the steal at half court. Bam and Lowry. Bam comes up with the loose ball, tosses it to Jimmy, all alone, breakaway, and Kaseya Center is going batshit crazy. Timeout, Bucks. Finally, by the way, Budenholzer, don't be afraid to call a timeout for your team when the Heat are scoring 13 consecutive points in the fourth quarter and the crowd's going crazy and you're about to go down 3-1. Boy, he stunk last night. Eric Spoelstra took his lunch money all night long. Budenholzer, terrible job. But that sequence right there, Butler the slam, the Heat go ahead, finally go ahead, 102-101. But hey, there was so much more after that. So you got a whole back and forth after that. So Butler, 102-101, gets the dunk there. You got, finally, Budenholzer calls a timeout. Okay, so here's the rest of the sequence here. Heat take was their first lead of the game? Yeah, maybe. I mean, we're down 15-5, 7-0. It may have been first lead of the game. So after that, then you got Giannis with the layup. They go ahead by 1 3-point play, actually. So that wasn't the Lopez dunk. 3-point play, Giannis, 104-102. Then you got Caleb Martin, who buries that 3. Heat back up by 1. Holiday buries the 3. Huge shot for him. Now it's 107-105 Bucks. Jimmy to the line. He ties it. Then you had the pick and roll. Giannis Lopez, easy dunk. Bam, couldn't get back in time. So now, a minute 20 to go. The Heat are down by 2. Jimmy, 3-pointer, buries it. Heat back up 1. Place is going crazy. Giannis misses around the basket. And now you get now Jimmy Butler. This is his shit.
Butler! Long shot, good!
Oh my God, so good. So that's Kevin Harlan and Reggie Miller on the call. The Heat go ahead now, 112-109. Sucks it wasn't a 3. You would have been up 2 possessions at that point. But let me get you Eric Reed and John Crotty on the call now.
Left in the game. Here comes Jimmy. Another 3. Got it again! Jimmy Butler is amazing! Miami leads it!
So that, I believe, was the last basket of the game for Miami. It was free throws the rest of the way. But by the way, so the Heat, they're only up 3 now. It's still a 1-possession game with under a minute to go. And this was as big a play as any, where the Heat get another stop. It was a turnover, I believe, on Drew Holiday. Lowry gets the steal. Passes up ahead to Butler. And I'm actually saying to myself, whoa, hold up. But Jimmy, he's all the way up in the front court, and he sees he's got, not only is Middleton the only guy back, but Middleton is backpedaling while guarding him, and Jimmy knows he's got 5 fouls. And Jimmy's like, F it, we're going to the basket. Jimmy gets fouled. Middleton, take a walk. That's your 6th. You're disqualified. Jimmy makes both free throws. Now we have the 2-possession game, and the rest of the way, the Heat make their free throws and take a 3-1 series lead. Oh my God. What a night. I'm telling you, man, NBA regular season sucks, but NBA playoffs can be so good when they're good. Oh man, they're good. And we've been waiting so long for a moment like that. What an intelligent play, man. Jimmy, they're fouling out Middleton. But man, oh God, what else did I say? What else did I say? Gotta close. By the way, it's still going to be super hard to close this thing out. Now, I don't think Giannis looked good after the first quarter. And the last play where Giannis kind of like tripped himself up, flipped the ball behind his back, game over, he looked like he was grabbing his back. I don't know that Giannis is okay. I didn't think he looked very good throughout the game after the first quarter. First quarter, he looked good. After that, I did not think he looked very good. So, I don't know what Giannis' status is the rest of the way. Nonetheless, you got one game to win out of the next 3. It's still going to be really hard. Game 5 tomorrow night is going to be really hard. If the Heat can't close it out there, Game 6 in Miami is going to be really hard. So, we're not close to over here. But man, if we were going to win that game last night, winning it like that, that's what's up. How about, going into the second play-in game against Toronto? I haven't said, I don't feel this way, but I know there are a lot of Heat fans who want them to lose this game so they can get the lottery. How about wanting a 0.4% chance in the lottery instead of that shit last night? Who the hell would want that? You want that last night? And you got that, and it's not like that tied the series at 2. That put you a win away from upsetting the number 1 seed. And that gets remembered forever. Man. And how about this, by the way? We're still a ways away from it. But the Heat are 1 win away, and the Knicks are 1 win away from Heat-Knicks Eastern Conference semifinals. Holy shit. Can you imagine that? The Heat are 1 win away. The Knicks are 1 win away. A Heat-Knicks Eastern Conference semifinal? That would be the tits. That's what I'm talking about right there. That's why I want the Knicks to win. That's why I wanted the Knicks to win. That's why I like it when the Knicks are good. Because can you imagine how amazing a Heat-Knicks playoff series right now would be? Jimmy? I don't want to talk about that anymore. I'll talk about that after the Heat get their 4th win this series. I just want to point that out because I think there's a lot of people who don't exactly realize that that's what we could be headed toward. But anyway, I don't want to talk about that anymore. I don't want to get ahead of myself. Also, as far as the NBA goes last night, look, it's important to point out. You know what's important to point out, actually? If you have some damage to your home, if you got some water damage, if you got a leak, you don't know where it's coming from, you got to call Water Cleanup of Florida, one of the great new sponsors on ZASLOW Show 2.0. Water Cleanup of Florida has over 60 years combined experience. The Greenstein boys, those are my guys. Come on, they're family, they're childhood friends of mine. Over 60 years combined experience. Their team at Water Cleanup of Florida will handle all types of leak detection issues 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. 954-900-8635. Fully licensed, insured, certified, giving you that one-stop shopping that all of us busy homeowners and business owners require. You don't have to bring in other contractors. They're going to handle the entire project from start to finish. Serving the entire Tri-County area, Water Cleanup of Florida, Miami-Dade, Broward, Palm Beach County. You can check them out online, WCUFL.com. Call or text right when you notice something. 954-900-8635. Water Cleanup of Florida, we clean up your schmutz. So real quick, last night you also had the Lakers. LeBron tied the game with 0.8 of a second left with a layup. A layup which, by the way, Dylan Brooks was not guarding LeBron James. And then when he came over to help, bailed on the help. I'll tell you, there has never been a softer guy who talked more than Dylan Brooks. To talk the way he talked, and then to have his performance the next 2 games, which, by the way, again, did not talk to the media last night. For him to talk the way he talked, and then to have those next 2 games is such a loser move from Dylan Brooks. So the Lakers, they win in overtime. LeBron, his first ever 2020 game. Amazing, right? And by the way, LeBron saying after the game that one of his teammates came up and told him he had a 2020 game, and he didn't know it. Huge liar. Huge liar. Guy knows everything. Guy knows everything that's going on in the game. Huge liar. He's playing the humble card, and that's fine. But huge liar. Got to point it out. The Lakers, though, just like the Heat, they go up 3-1. And you could be headed toward Lakers-Warriors or Lakers-Kings, both money series. Because you got the old rivalry from the early 2000s for you youngins between the Lakers and Kings and Lakers-Warriors. Come on. That's as good as it gets if you want the juice, if you want the NBA playoff drama. But the Heat, 1 win away from advancing to the Eastern semifinals and pulling off what would be one of the all-time great postseason upsets. And Jimmy Butler. Now look, I'll ask Sedano last night. Jimmy Butler was the greatest individual performance in a playoff game I have ever seen in a Miami Heat uniform. It was the greatest. But that doesn't mean it's the best in franchise history, because you have to consider the stakes. LeBron Game 6, 2012 in Boston. Wade Game 3 and Game 5, NBA Finals 2006. Jimmy's performance was better than both those 2, 3 if you want. But those 3, the stakes were incredibly higher. So those 3 games right there are still above what Jimmy did last night. But individually, and especially because you needed all those points, the Heat were down by 13 early in the fourth quarter. The same way the Heat were down by 13 in Game 3, 7 minutes remaining, 2006 Finals. You needed all those points from Wade. That was the greatest individual performance last night. Like LeBron, the Heat smoked the Celtics that Game 6. And LeBron methodically, 42 points, 17 rebounds, 42-15. LeBron methodically did what he did against the Celtics. But Butler, that was the all-time greatest performance in Miami Heat history. All time.